Hello and welcome to the NASRS Sprint Race Series. We have 24 laps here around Martinsville Speedway, which is a 0.5-mile short track in Richmond, in Martinsville, Virginia. Carter Jones is starting on pole with Maxime Belladonna to his outside. Behind them is the 8 car of Tree Leclerc and the 38 of Nate Wines. With the green flag waves, Carter Jones gets a pretty good jump on Maxime, and he will take the lead coming into turn 1 as Tree Leclerc is now challenging for second. It looks like Tree's going to be able to take over second. So side by side on the backstretch for second place. Carter Jones continues to lead. Tree Leclerc is now cleared for second place. He will now take over. So possession is we have a caution out. We'll get a replay on that pretty soon, I would assume. Here's the replay. It looks like the 38-9 car just got kind of spun there. I hope we get another replay to kind of really see what happens. Here's a slower one. Looks like the 09 kind of comes up the track. 39 gets pinched with the 5 car on its outside and just gets spun around. Pretty innocent reset. Caution just right off the start. As we're back live now, as Carter Jones is going to lead the field back to green with Tree Leclerc in second and Maxime Belladonna in third. As you can see, Caleb Marinelli already making a very aggressive move, trying to get a few more spots. He is the points leader who will be looking to extend his points lead coming into today. As Carter Jones continues to lead. Right now, if any of the top 4 was to win this race, it would be their first career win. 2 of them are in their first season, as Marco Suarez and Maxime Belladonna have not raced prior to this season, while Tree Leclerc and Carter Jones both raced full-time last season but were unable to get wins for either of their series. The 99s continue to lead. These 2 were actually also teammates, the 8 and the 99. For Throwback Motorsports, which did win, I believe, 2 races last year with the 86 of Ian Stiles. This would be their first win of the season so far, however, as they've kind of struggled to adapt to these next-gen cars. As you can even see, Ian's not running in the top 10 right now, as Jones continues to lead. He's led every lap so far, as we're almost at the halfway point due to that caution coming out. That probably burnt off about 5 or 6 laps. Just due to being a short track and taking a little bit longer to make sure everything's good. We've also just gotten word from the pack that, or from the garage, that Gary Russell's put into the pit lane with a gearbox failure, ending his race. We believe that happened under the caution flag, which is why we were able to get a replay of it while we were focused on making sure we get a camera for the restart. Jones continues to lead over the 8 and 36. Not much passing so far up front. Caleb Marinelli has moved up a few spots. I think he's up to 5th. I think he restarted in 7th or 8th. And now the 86 has now popped into the top 10. The teammate of the 2 guys that are running 1-2 right now. Their 4th teammate, Wyatt Wild, is not in the top 10. He's probably back either in the lower teens or the early 20s, I would have to assume. But yeah, Carter Jones continues to lead over the 8. Looks like the gap is staying pretty consistent, about a half a second right now. Basically half a second between basically everyone on the racetrack. It's not easy to pass, it seems. Not easy really to catch anyone. The only guy who's been able to do much so far today has been Caleb Marinelli, moving up a few spots. But he's been probably the best driver all season. He has the best average finish, and is currently the points leader by, I think, 7 points over Evan Toddy. Evan's actually running in 8th right now, so if the results were to stand as they are currently, Caleb would extend his points lead by 3 points over Evan Toddy, which I believe would bring it up to a 10-point lead. Yeah, we're now 2/3 of the way through the race. Not much has happened in the last few laps. As Carter Jones continues just to tick off laps from the race lead, he would be looking, as we mentioned earlier, for his first career win. He's had a few good runs this season, the 99 car has, but he just hasn't been able to close on them. He hasn't really led much, really ever, including last season. Last season was a big struggle, as just Omaki Racing Enterprises just kind of struggled. They didn't, besides the 77 of Tyler King last year, which of course won the championship, none of the other cars really performed very well outside of Daytona, where James ran well. Now he's with cars with a new team now, with Throwback Motorsports, with Ian Stiles being the leader. Of course, Ian went into the final race with a shot at the title last year, and has 2 wins. But this would be their 3rd win of the team if they could bring it home. looking pretty likely as they currently are running 1-2. Yeah, not much has happened the last handful of laps. Just a pretty calm race. Sometimes you just get these when the drivers don't want to wreck stuff, and we're about midway through the season now too, so everyone's kind of settling into their roles, kind of where they're going to be all season. It seems it's still tight enough that like major changes can't happen. We still have some crazy races coming up. Like Pocono next week's probably gonna be pretty good, or in 2 weeks, sorry, we got Charlotte next week before that. And like Talladega's coming up, and we'll have the NA Motordrome again to end our season. So there's some good races coming up, but every once in a while I just get kind of a dud of a race, and that's what this race has kind of been. Pretty calm, pretty par for the course, but at least we'll get a first-time winner out of it, it seems, as Carter Jones continues to lead. Worst case, even if Carter doesn't take home the win, if he was to mess up, top 4, as I said earlier, all would be looking for their first career wins as well. So yeah, it looks very likely that there will be a first-time winner here today. So we're coming down only 2 laps to go now for Throwback Motorsports to bring home a 1-2 here. Jones continues to lead down the backstretch about a half a second back to the 8, and then it's about another half a second to the 36, and another half a second back to the 36's teammate, the 16. So we get the white flag out for Carter Jones. He'd be looking for his first career win. As he goes through 1 and 2, it's looking pretty good. It looks like the 8 car may be kind of trying to diamond the corners, taking a little more speed through it, but it may be a little too late as Carter Jones is going to take it, coming out of turn 3 and 4. Carter Jones is going to win for the first time in his NASCAR Reno Sprint Race Series career. Big congratulations to Carter on his first win of the season, and Throwback Motorsports' first win of the season so far. As we see him begin his burnout here. This is a pretty cool one. He's just kind of holding it with smoke coming up the back of it. Must be pretty excited to get his first career win. I know he's been waiting for this a while. I think it's been about 20 races since the start of the series, way back at Daytona, back in August of 2021. But yeah, he's been waiting for this one for a while. So very happy to see him finally get that win and celebrate it. Get to really show what he's been able to do so far in this series. So yeah, here are our final results. You get the 1-2 for Throwback Motorsports. You see their other cars in 10th and in 14th. You see the Cyberstorm guys finishing in 3rd, 4th, 8th, and 16th. We also see the points leader, Kayla Marinelli, finishing in 5th. He'll extend his points lead by about 3 points on Evan Toddy. Got his teammate, Tyler King, in 7th, with Tanner Campos, Nate Wines also being in the top 10. But yeah, Gary Russell was our only DNF today. As I mentioned earlier, he had a gearbox failure, which caused him the DNF. Now we got the points standings coming out. Everyone currently ahead of Ethan O'Connor, which is 9th in points, is within 1 race of the points lead. Marinelli now has a 10-point lead over Evan Toddy, with Tyler King, Tanner Campos, and Carter Jones right behind him. Then it'd be Ian, Maxine, Zach Stern, and Ethan O'Connor bringing up the rest of the top 9. Gary Russell in 10th is the first guy with over 1 race outside of the points lead. And then you just get to see the rest of the field right now. So yeah, we want to thank you for watching this race, and we hope to see you next time for Charlotte, and then again after that we'll be in Pocono, which will be a crazy race.